Hey everyone, it's Carrie here and welcome to another weekly dose of inspiration to build a successful business. So, have you ever set a goal for yourself? Something that you really wanted to achieve? So maybe it was to start a business, or maybe it was to turn a new idea into a reality, or maybe it was to make more money, whatever it was. And you were really clear about what you wanted to achieve, and you were really committed to the idea of making it happen. But for whatever reason, it just didn't happen. You didn't seem to be able to make it happen. I am sure we can all relate to this. I know I definitely have experienced this in the past so many times where I've set myself goals, things that I really wanted to make happen, but for some reason I just couldn't make it happen, and it was so frustrating. You feel like you're banging your head against a brick wall. And there are so many reasons that we can come up with for why this happens, for why we can't make it happen, whether it's that we don't have enough knowledge about it, we don't know how to make it happen, or whether it's that external things are affecting us like time and money, so because of those things we weren't able to reach our goals. But I really think that at the heart of this, at the real reason for why we set ourselves goals but then don't make them happen is because of our mindset. And if you think about it, so many people say that success is 80% psychology and 20% mechanics, 20% of how you actually do the thing. And it really makes sense, because if you think about it, if you go back to any of the goals that you've ever set yourself that you haven't made happen, if you think about it and be honest with yourself, you probably know that there were things that you knew how to do. You probably knew how to get going with it, or what to do to some extent, but for some reason you just didn't do those things, and it was probably because what was going on up here in your mind wasn't aligned with your goals, and this is the problem. So I have become aware of this, and that mindset is everything, and so throughout my journey I have always tried to learn as much as I possibly can about mindset, about how can I actually get the mindset for success so that I can start making stuff happen. Like, I set these goals for myself because I really want to make them happen. So how can I actually have that breakthrough and make them happen? And somebody that I have learned so much from, and I'm sure all of us have, is Tony Robbins. He shares the most wonderful and simple things that are just so profound and have such a huge impact. So there are 5 major things that I've learned from Tony Robbins that I have integrated into my own life so that I can make incredible things happen. And these things have helped me so much, so I really want to share them with you. So in order to achieve your goals, in order to have those breakthroughs, in order to really live a successful life, follow these 5 principles. The first thing is this: you have to turn your shoulds into musts. If you want to make something amazing happen, you have to step up, you have to raise your game. You know, how many times have you caught yourself saying things like, oh, I really should send that email, I really should make that call, I really should go to that networking event, I really should create my daily game plan every day, but you just don't do it. Well, it's not, you can't get away with it, it's not good enough. You're not going to be able to reach your goals unless you turn those shoulds into musts. And this is something we can all do, and so often we're like, yes, but I can't do it because of this and this. But I'm sure we've all heard so many success stories of people where they've got ill and all of a sudden their shoulds disappeared. Well, they turned their shoulds into musts because they felt like they had no choice, they had to do something about it, and so they did, and they went on to achieve something amazing. Or people who hit rock bottom and then turn their shoulds into musts because, again, they felt like that back was up against the wall and they had no choice but to do it, and then they went on to do the most incredible things. So when we have got our backs against the wall, usually our shoulds do become musts. But without your back against the wall, you have to be able to do it in yourself. You have to step up and become the person that you need to be in order to reach your goals. So it starts today by making that decision that you are going to turn your shoulds into musts and make it happen. Have that absolute commitment with yourself that you are going to do it, that it's an absolute must for you. So have a think and make a list of all the things that you're always like, well, I should do this and I should do that and I should do that. Whether it's, I should write my daily goals, but I don't. I should write my daily game plan, but I don't. So go through and think of all the things that you're always being like, oh, I really should do this, or I really should do this and should do this, but you don't. Go through and figure those things out and make that commitment to yourself to turn those shoulds into musts best, and that alone is going to help you to achieve so much more. The second thing is to get rid of the limiting beliefs that you have going on in your head, because if you've ever set yourself a goal and again you've been really clear on what you wanted to achieve, you've been really committed to wanting to make it happen, and maybe you've even got to the stage where you have replaced those shoulds with the musts, but you still aren't making it happen, whether it's that you feel like you're just really holding yourself back, or whether you're sabotaging your own success. If this is happening, then it's because something going on the inside is conflicting with your goal. So all those fears, those doubts, those worries, those limiting beliefs that are going on inside of you are the things that will hold you back and stop you from making the progress that you want to make towards making your goal happen. So you have to do something about them. And the best thing to do is to just get really honest and open with yourself and acknowledge what is really going on. This is all part of the process of getting in tune with yourself. So take the time to get honest with yourself and write out what your fears are, what your doubts are, what your worries are, what your limiting beliefs are, and then accept them, surrender them, let them go, and then focus your energy on your goal. Focus your energy on believing that you can make it happen, on knowing with absolute certainty that you will make it happen. Because once you align yourself with your goal, when every single part of your body is aligned to that goal, that's when you feel like that place where you're in the zone. You're in the zone and you're flying and you're making it happen. So that's what you have to do. You have to align yourself up. You can't have these inner conflicts going on all the time. You can't have your focus being dragged to those limiting beliefs all the time. And it's quite hard to do when you've got to battle with this little voice in your head which is saying, like, you can't do that, you're not good enough, you're never going to make it happen, who's going to want to hear this, or whatever those voices are saying in your head. It's hard to ignore them, but you have to, and it's a choice that you have to make. You have to choose to be like, okay, I know you're there, but I'm not paying attention to you because this is my life and this is my one and only life, and I want to make some amazing stuff happen. I want to reach this goal, so I'm not going to choose, I'm going to ignore you, and I'm going to focus on this vision that I have created, this vision of what I want to make happen in my life, on this belief that I will somehow make it happen, and choose to focus your energy and effort on that. Choose to completely align yourself with that goal, because that is when you're going to be in your zone, and that is when you're going to make incredible things happen. So the third thing you need to do is get in control of your emotions, because whenever you set a goal for yourself, 1,000,001 obstacles always appear, which is so annoying because you get so inspired, you've got this new idea and you're so excited about it, and then you actually get started with it, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, how am I going to make it happen? There's all these different reasons and all the different setbacks and obstacles that you have to get past, and it knocks so many people off. I mean, I know for myself, I've been in situations where I've come up with an amazing idea, something I really wanted to do, and then started to kind of make progress towards making it happen, then realised, whoa, this just isn't going to be possible, I'm never going to be able to make this happen. But you have to have the mental strength to pull yourself up and rise up to the challenge and get over those obstacles. That is what you have to do. And something that really helps me with this is something that Tony Robbins actually says, which is, if you want to change your state, so if you've had a knockback or you're facing an obstacle and it's making you feel like you can't go on anymore, it's making you feel like you just want to give up and that everything's hopeless, the easiest way to change your state is by changing your posture. So often when we're feeling really defeated and hopeless, we'll be like kind of slumped over and feeling like really low. And if you just change your posture, put your shoulders, stand upright or sit tall with your head tall, and really kind of center yourself, it instantly makes you feel so much better, and like sends a message to your brain that it's like, hey, I'm down for this, I'm gonna make it happen, I can make it, I can get through it. And that tiny little technique in itself has helped me so much whenever I felt like I just couldn't go on anymore, or whenever I felt totally hopeless. It's like the saying that when you're feeling sad, go and stand in the mirror, and go and stand and look in the mirror and smile at yourself, and it feels really odd doing it, but then if you do it like 20 times, by the end of it you're like, actually I'm feeling a lot better about myself now. So it's the same thing, you're just sending those messages to your brain. So again, you're working on that mindset and that psychology and getting the psychology for success. The fourth thing you need to do is find successful people and model them, model their success. Because there's no point in reinventing the wheel when there's been plenty of people that have already done what you wanted to do or are successful in similar areas that you want to be successful at. Go and find those people and pay close attention to them. You know, if they've written a book, then go and read their book and find out how they did it. Watch what they do really closely so that you can pick up what their success strategies are and you can implement them in your own life. That's why it's really important to always read, I think, to learn as much as possible from other people, to read books on people, to go and pick up a Tony Robbins book or listen to one of his audio programs and hear his success strategies, because that's exactly what I've done, and these 5 things have come from him, and now they're part of my own success strategies. I learned them from him because it would have taken me forever to work that out for myself. So find successful people and model their success, model what they are, well, not model exactly what they're doing, but model their success strategies. And then the 5th step is to focus on being grateful. Tony Robbins said, when you are grateful, fear dissipates and abundance appears. And it's so true. When you are in that state of feeling grateful, you can't be negative at the same time because you're focused on what you're grateful for. And so you kind of open yourself up to receiving more abundance in your life because you're on the same wavelength as it. You're in the right place. So again, this is something that helps you to get back into the psychology of success, to make sure that you are aligned mentally with the idea of success, with your goals, with what you want to achieve. So take time every single day to think about what you're grateful for and write it down. And don't let this be one of those should things. Don't let it be like, oh, I should do this. I should write down what I'm grateful for every day. I should spend 1 minute every single day thinking about the amazing stuff that I am grateful for, but I just don't. So turn it into a must and do it every single day. Focus on what you're grateful for. For me, that in itself always helps me to get back aligned with myself and get back to that place where I'm so grateful, and it pulls me back to a good place, especially whenever I feel negative. That in itself helps me to get back into a really great place mentally. So definitely give that a try. So those are the 5 success strategies that I've learned from Tony Robbins that have helped me so much along my journey. They've helped me to actually make my goals happen instead of constantly feeling stuck like, yeah, I really want to make this happen, but I just can't. It doesn't seem to be happening for me. So try out those 5 things whenever you feel like you've got a goal and it's just not happening for you. Try doing those things, or just actually try integrating them into your life and using them every single day, and I think it will have such a huge impact for you. So I hope you've enjoyed those steps. I'd love it if you could leave a comment and share your experiences on this and anything else that helps you, and I will see you next week for another dose of inspiration.